Panasonic and Olympus have a reputation in the market for the high-end Micro Four Thirds cameras. Among many of the cameras, Panasonic GH5 Mark II and Olympus OMD E-M1 Mark III have a distinctive place among camera lovers for their impressive video features, faster performance, and so on. As both of the cameras share almost the same price range, we have decided to put these two superb cameras against each other to determine which one stands out. So with that being said, let's get started. The Panasonic GH5 Mark II features the 20.3 megapixel Micro Four Thirds live MOS sensor. On the other hand, Olympus E-M1 Mark III offers the 20.4 megapixel live MOS Micro Four Thirds sensor. Though both the cameras have the same type of sensor with almost the same resolution, their performance is quite different. Starting with Panasonic, the GH5 Mark II can record full-width UHD and DCI 4K videos at 60 frames per second with 4x2x0 10-bit. Besides, 4K 10-bit 4x2x2 is also available if you choose to decrease the frame rate to 30 FPS. Moreover, there is no recording time limit, which makes it a pretty impressive camera for videos. On the other hand, Olympus E-M1 Mark III can record UHD 4K videos at 30 frames per second and DCI 4K videos at 24 frames per second. So, if you're into high-quality slow-motion videos, Panasonic offers more frames in 4K videos, but those extra frames come at the cost of a rolling shutter effect. To measure the rolling shutter, let's take the DCI 4K 24p as our base. It has been found that GH5 Mark II has a sensor readout speed of about 13.7 milliseconds, while Olympus offers a readout speed of 10.9 milliseconds. So, if you want minimal rolling shutter effect and faster sensor readout, Olympus E-M1 Mark III is faster than the Panasonic GH5 Mark II. As for images, Panasonic lets you take 6K and 4K images. You can capture 6K images at 30 FPS and 4K images at 60 FPS. Apart from that, this camera also allows for shooting 12 continuous images in single-shot autofocus mode and 9 images in continuous autofocus mode. Meanwhile, Olympus E-M1 Mark III, though being a 20 megapixel camera, offers you to capture 16 stills of the scene to combine them into a 50 megapixel image. Besides, it also lets you shoot 60 images in burst mode with its electronic shutter and 15 images with its mechanical shutter. One of the aspects where the Panasonic GH5 Mark II suffers is the autofocus technology. It features a 2:5 area DFD contrast detection autofocus, which is definitely an improved version of its predecessor, but not as efficient as the phase detection or hybrid autofocus. Particularly, when your subject is moving, you might face trouble with continuous autofocus. As for the stabilization, this camera includes a 5-axis in-body image stabilization. Additionally, you can also sync lens-based stabilization with the camera to get even smoother footage up to 6.5 stops. On the other hand, one of the most striking features of the Olympus E-M1 Mark III is the autofocus. It comes with hybrid autofocus that includes cross-type 1:1 points phase detection and contrast detection autofocus. Besides, it has face detection and autofocus which effectively recognizes your subject even in challenging situations. And with the Starry Sky mode, you can also get yourself into astrophotography with this camera. And if you know about Olympus, almost all the Olympus cameras have incredible stabilization, and E-M1 Mark III is no exception. Its 5-axis image stabilization can smooth out your footage up to 7 stops. And if you want more stabilization, you can use a compatible lens with the camera to get 7.5 stops of smoother footage. The Panasonic GH5 Mark II features a 3.68 million dot OLED viewfinder with 0.76 times magnification. The high-res viewfinder offers you a bright and almost lag-free view of your composition. Besides, there is also a 3.0-inch fully articulating 1.84 million dot touchscreen, which is not as bright and also lags sometimes, but the fully articulating screen is helpful for front-facing shooting. On the other hand, the Olympus E-M1 Mark III is equipped with a 3-inch fully articulating LCD monitor with just 1.037 million dots resolution. So, under a bright sunny day, you might struggle with the screen. There is also a 2.36 million dot electronic viewfinder with 0.74 times of maximum magnification, which works adequately well. So that was all about the comparison between Panasonic GH5 Mark II versus Olympus OMD E-M1 Mark III. Both share some similar features, while there are some performance-wise differences to serve your different photography and videography needs. So, which one do you prefer? Let us know in the comment section.